All right. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome one. Welcome all. Today, I'm going to say this now. I'm probably going to say this about 10 more times before we actually get going. Today, we are going to live react to the Hollyoaks 30th anniversary, episode 1. So, yeah. Obviously, I've started a little bit early, just to make sure everybody gets on in. At the time, everybody kind of, tips their hat into the ring. I don't think I've ever done a Hollyoaks-based reaction before. Well, live stream before. First, I'll say that much. And also just get to have the excuse to watch some old Simpsons. Which I don't really tend to do very much, despite streaming Simpsons Hit and Run pretty regularly. Yeah, now we sit, now we wait, now we just chill. Yeah, now we simply just wait. Just how it is. What do you think? About what? Is my question. What do I think? I'm excited. I'm excited for the Hollyoaks. I'm excited to see what the later looks like. But I'm excited to finally get through it. Because I feel like I, along with a lot of other people, also kind of misinterpreted not being fully up to date with Hollyoaks like history. It feels like a lot of us didn't really understand. Oh god, why is the lighting turned so bad? Jesus, focus on the old. Oh. I've turned into a ghost. Okay, that's more natural. Okay, cool. What do you think is the likelihood somebody will be killed off in tonight's episode? I think the deaths will probably be saved for the end of the week and the Hollyoaks later. Feels like a Hollyoaks later kind of classic to have a pretty haunting death that will leave people like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm actually going downstairs to watch it live on Ethel. Okay, all right, Skipper. Hope you enjoy. Not sure the Union Jack's in there, but fair enough. But I don't know. I'm unsure what the pace is going to be. I'm not sure if it's going to be hectic or we're going to build. And if we're building, we're probably not going to... Like, if it was EastEnders, nobody would die till the Thursday episode. But since it's Hollyoaks, and Hollyoaks is kind of known for its frantic pace, I don't know. I honestly don't know. One thing is going to be fun. I think how it's going to go is obviously... This is going to be a watch-along. I'm not going to be putting the episode on the feed. That will get taken down immediately. So... But I'm gonna record my reactions and then I'll edit it down. Then on Friday there'll be a big kind of edited down reactions. And I think probably for the next couple of days tomorrow is Tuesday. Tomorrow morning, I assume I'll put out a kind of a here's everything that happened on the first episode. And I'll do that the day after and the day after. And it'll go from there. So yeah, I hope everybody's excited as I am. Had a pretty hectic day recording stuff, so I'm not like spilling energy everywhere. But we're definitely excited. You think if they do have a death in later, I think it'll probably be Dylan, which will cause Lucas to continue his downward spiral until Christmas. Ooh, I like it. I do like it. I do think that is that's a pretty good one. I don't think they'd kill off Lucas. I mean, I don't think they'd kill off Dylan necessarily. I feel like Dylan's kind of become a part of the current Hollyoaks furniture. I think it would be, I'd argue, probably be a little bit too agonizing to kill off Dylan just to kind of placate the Steve and Lucas storyline. Could be wrong. That's just my take on it. But I like the idea. As people who could probably get killed off, Prince is always up there for me. I still think there's a slight chance of Diane or Marie. Just these sorts of characters, because I feel like most of them are safe. And I'm not too kind of taken back. Vicky could be Vicky. Have I watched the Hollyoaks Unwrapped podcast yet? I've watched up to episode 3. Is there another one out yet? Because if I have, I've watched up to episode 3. Looking forward to this, not sure what to expect. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm so conflicted because I know what EastEnders anniversaries are like. I don't know what Hollyoaks anniversaries are like. You should have said from the start Prince should have died instead of Hunter last year. Honestly, I wouldn't mind both of them. No, not yet. All right, God. I think it could be Vicky, as it seems to be revolved around Donnie, and he has another daughter. They could be extra cruel and kill off Charlie and Darren Spirals. I could see it being Charlie, honestly. I could genuinely see it being Charlie. Charlie's kind of been brought back out of nowhere to fill a role that we don't know yet, because he's either going to get with Vicky or he's going to die. And I could easily see that happening because they're not going to bring back Justin Burton. And yeah, he's my favorite character. Steve, Sienna, probably. I both love those characters. Who else? And obviously previous favorite characters are Ethan and Dilly, of course. Both love those characters. Oh. Yeah, I don't think they'll kill off. Yeah, Vicky does seem to be positioned as a future Mercedes. I do agree. All right, I'm going to try something. It might mess up the stream real quick, so I'm going to test if recording it ruins everything. Okay, so prepare yourselves. Okay, I think we're all good. Okay, so this is, I'm going to say this for the recording. All right, and these are going to be reactions to the Hollyoaks 30th anniversary week episodes, and this is episode 1, the 20th of October 2025. All right, we going? Are we in? Are we in? We're in. We're in, guys. Also, I think Jack may die and Perry. I don't think they wouldn't kill Perry off. They like having the legacy kid in there. And if they're not going to have Tom, I feel like they need Perry. But then it is Hollyoaks and not many people actually survive. I need to bounce my audio better. Here we go. I also think we'll probably get new titles after the anniversary. Feels like they've been long overdue for a while. Like Joel's still here, Martha's still here, Robbie's still here. Like there's a lot of titles that probably need updating. All right, episode starts now. Okay, so they made an episode in the anniversary just to show them up. I assume they filmed it in about 2 hours. Oh, Sinbad's back, I think. Oh no, okay, new Hutchinsons. Young Kit from Corrie. And new Roe. See, I'm not going to be... It'd be bold of me to mock the haircut. I'm not feeling the skin fade on Ro. I won't lie. That's a bit. Claire dancing. All right. Yeah, this is the calm before the storm. Even the clouds are pretty. Oh. Also, they've definitely got the high-def cameras out for this. Okay, so Rex is probably the one in the car delivering. Okay, one character I could see dying, just because of Hollyoaks. I could see Rex dying. Oh yeah, and obviously, who do I think will die? Jez. Jez is dying. 100% Jez is dying by the end of this. Oh, who's... I'm trying to figure out who... I've forgotten who Diane's little girl is. Isn't it the kid she had with Edward? I don't remember her name. I don't think they'd kill off... to be fair, the Jack is also probably a good shout. The nameless one. About right. Okay, so this is Claire trying to... This is Claire trying to get Jez caught. Oh, bumping into Leela. Wow, Leela's looking... That dress is fantastic. Who's wait? Is this Jez? Is he lurking behind the bushes? Oh. See, the main question I have, though, how is... Because Tom's leaving after the anniversary, right? So, why would he leave if he's getting married to Perry? Hello. Hello, Nush. Welcome in. Maybe it's curtains for Tom. Maybe, but I think it would be really cruel to kill off Tom. Because we've had 20 years of him being on screen. He was there for 21 years. So I refuse to believe that they'll kill off 10. Not Mr. Curly Wig. That's his hair. That's his actual hair. All right, who's going to be bundled up in this suitcase? Because it ain't Jez. Or it should be some... No, there's no one in there. Sorry, I'm really messing around with the lighting. The lighting's getting all weird. Okay. Marie is perpetually holding the baby. That is weird to see the guy who played Young Kit in Coronation Street. That one's fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how Ro gets on. Poe looks sensational. Tom's hair is magnificent. Okay, they're all here. Uh-oh. Okay, so Sienna is away. Panic. Sienna's away alone. Panic. Double panic. There are a lot of extras in this scene, though. Oh. I still think it's crazy that Warren is... Oh, it could also be Warren lurking, because obviously Warren is... Warren... Because Darren paid Warren to put a hit out on Tony. Yeah. Mate, Tony's going to have so many kids by the end of this anniversary. I say that as if they're going to, like, pop out immediately. I like how fucking Myra's dressed as a chicken. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who the fuck that kid is. So no, I know, because you have Dee Dee, you have Ant, and you have Ro. Who the Uh-oh. Controversial, you don't think... I don't think... I personally... Yeah, Nush says controversial, but I don't think Tony is the dad of Marie's kid. I don't think Marie's pregnant. I think she's just making it up and she's going to try kidnap Cleo's baby. That's what I think about it. It feels like a very Marie thing to do. I'm glad we agree on that. I'm glad that this wedding's gotten out of the place. And I did the right thumbnail, boys. I knew this was going to happen. I am John Hollyoaks. Really? We're doing Coldplay's I Want You Back? Also, Poe looked fucking sensational. Want you back. Want you back. Want you back for good. Big old kiss. Yeah, the high def cameras are out in full force. Also, what's the statute of limitations till Mercedes doesn't have to wear the wig anymore? Okay, so this is the calm before the storm. Here is Jez. Uh-oh, the postie. And a plane in the background. Oh, this is the fan. This is the fan who dies. Majestic hair and beard combo. Fair play. There's no way that's how this person dies. Is that how that person dies? That's the fan interaction. Yeah, that's the guy who won the competition. Or that's the person. I don't want to assume. That's the person who won the competition. See, for a while I thought I was going to be in there, and then as I didn't get respected, I was like, fuck you, Hollyoaks. Relationship ended. Oh, James is here. Hello? What are you doing? He's here. He's here. James is back. He's not an illusion. He's real. See, I don't like Come Dine With Me, but I would watch it just to see Frankie Osborne. Is it half an hour or an hour? I think it's like 20 minutes. This goes on till 7:30, so it's a 30-minute episode. But it's 30 minutes with ads, so... Yeah, so James is real. He is back. It's not fake. Now it's time to bring back Dilly and Ethan, please. I don't care if we didn't see... I don't care if we saw the bodies. If you're just making up shit that happened, let's just change it all. Let's just act... Can we just retcon the whole time jump? Can we just bring everyone back now? I mean, obviously, if any of you watch the video, we'll all know what I think about the time jump. Did anybody watch that video? Anybody watch the time jump? Was it worth it? Any thoughts, theories whilst we're waiting on the adverts to go by? I would love to hear what you think. I did. Hey, legend. Thank you, thank you. Made you think the characters you want back? Yep. See, I initially wrote it and I was like, maybe... the one thing that wound me up about it, though, because I'll peel back the curtain. Last Wednesday was me putting the final touches on the video. And then Wednesday was when James came back. And I'm like, guys, why couldn't you do it next week? Why couldn't you do it next week when I'm not fucking busy? But they did it then, so I had to make a little edit saying James is alive. Fuck's sake. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it turned out I'm pretty proud of it. I think... Yeah, it's like they knew. They knew. I am John Hollyoaks. I am Harry Hollyoaks. I say that. I was planning on doing that video for since the time jump was announced to take place. I had been planning that video. But, guys, you don't want to see what the original script was like. The original script was like 50 pages of, here is Carter Shepherd. He left for these reasons. Like, oh, absolutely not. So, I think it found a way. I say that there won't be any video essays for like the next 2 weeks. I'm pretty knackered at this point. We've been doing a lot of content, and doing the video essays have been a lot of work. So after doing 2 of the big topics I wanted to do, I just kind of went, yeah, maybe let's chill. And obviously this week I'm covering all the Hollyoaks, which is a thing in itself. So yeah, and obviously, so I'm just focused on doing the Hollyoaks this week, and then next week we're taking it off because Football Manager comes out. So any of the 2 Football Manager fans of the channel will know how I'm feeling. Be intrigued if this whole situation since the time jump has all been a part of Cleo's imagination, and is Cleo still locked up with Abe? Huh. See. Oh. I don't know. I honestly don't know how to feel about that one. Because if we have a scenario where we bring back our favourite characters like Ethan and Dilly and Cindy, characters like this who did leave, and we still have it, but I don't think there's a world where we basically just say the time jump didn't happen. Because then the last year has been bollocks, essentially. But any scenario where we get our favourites back, I'm willing. But I don't think, even though Hannah Cheers feels like she would do it, because it's Hannah Cheers, I can in good conscience believe it. But Manager rocks, Jessica, you legend. Alright, the episode's back on. So why is James back? What are the reasons? So why the fuck are you here? Also, now... who's he moved on with? What has James done? Also, fucking, he is acting his motherfucking socks off. He went, I'm getting these scenes that I am absolutely fucking acting my tits off. Here's why I won Best Actor at... Oh. Here's why I won Best Actor at the Soap Awards. One of only 3 Hollyoaks actors who won Best Actor. I like how Grace is rocking a Barbie pink leather jacket. Uh-oh, that looks like Jez. Oh, Froggy's here. One question. What's everybody think about Froggy so far? I personally like him a good bit. I think he fits in surprisingly well. It's going to be hard to imagine him as like a gangster character, but so far, I think he adds a real sense of charm. Jesus. Put the gun away. Bloody hell. Put the gun down, Claire. Oh. Uh-oh, someone's getting shot. Oh, the plane's leaking. This is how the plane crashes. Froggy is still Ashley to me. Oh, and Grace got shot as well. Shit. Uh-oh. Mate, this would be textbook Hollyoaks to kill off Grace Black after bringing her back. Oh, shit. Will Grace survive it? Yeah, true. Grace has been shot countless times. Yeah, fair enough. Jessica says Froggy is still Ashley to me. See, I didn't watch that much. I didn't watch that much Emmerdale, so I don't have that much Ashley Thomas. Personally. Uh-oh. Whoa. Uh-oh. Whoa. They were really worried about Tony's legacy, so they've just given him like 2.5 more kids. And here Marie steps up. That's a devious grin. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Oh my god. Oh, this is horrendously green screened. Also, that clearly is not Howard, it's Jez. Also, so the fan that gets killed off by Jez, twat, he got punched in the, or they got punched in the mouth and they're dead. A long line in really horrendous soap deaths. What if it's Nancy that dies and it sends Darren spiraling? See, I see Nancy as untouchable personally. I would hate it if they killed off Nancy. I want Nancy and Darren to be on Hollyoaks till it's over. Excuse me. Yeah, Darren and Nancy are synonymous. Way. It would be a big blow. Like, I could see them killing off characters like Charlie, Vicky, Perry, but you don't kill off the key pillars of the post-time jump era. Say he's like Edward. Grace won't die, but you think Charlie will die. Yeah, that's fair. God, that's some Edward thinking there. There's also there's a microphone. Slap. Whoa. He did almost turn into Ian Beale. In the love. Oh no, she's gonna relapse. Oh shit. Oh shit. With nondescript Pinot Grigio. Throw it out of the window. Wait, no way. Hold on. Shitting hell. Mate, I'll be picking it all up. I'll be picking it all up. Mate, he's wearing like razors. Whew. Plane goes into the boat. I think that's a good shout. I do think that is a good shout. All right, I think now we're gonna do a little. We're just gonna all react. Oh, and obviously for reactions, those were the reactions to the first episode of the anniversary. Hope you enjoyed it. On to episode 2. There we are. Look at me. I'm working it. I'm working it. Grace actually dead. See, I thought that until until one of the viewers said, yeah, until Nush said Grace has been shot so many times, she's probably not dead. Okay, so yeah, now I'm going to leave a little period where we're all just going to react to the episode and see the biggest talking points. And then I'm going to record a video of everything that happened. So what did we think of episode 1? I thought it was pretty good, honestly. I think it was good at setting the scene. It was good at dealing with all of the kind of... dealing with the not as fun episodes. I see, because obviously the main show I watched, EastEnders, this is a very EastEnders, like, this is a very EastEnders anniversary episode, because this episode, we kind of get through the fact and we build up to the big revelations. And then obviously episode 2 is going to be the plane crash and everybody reeling from it. And then we're going to go into like step 2. And then obviously it'll peak on Wednesday and then even ramp up quicker on later. So it's a very, the first episode of an anniversary is never going to be the best. And I think that's kind of what they angled for. I will say I thought we were going to get a little bit more of other things, because that episode was very Tony and Diane and Darren. So like for some reason I thought we were going to see the teens do something. I thought we were going to see Mercedes do something, but yeah, it was just very focused on Tony, which is fine. But imagine if they do My Theory and imagine if they were going to do My Theory and kill off Tony Hutchinson. They really couldn't keep Carol and Phil. I mean, at least they showed up for it in the anniversary. Trying to figure out who's the girl whose name we don't know it is. All right, I'll find it. I'll find it. Don't you worry. I believe it's Eva. There we go. It's Eva. It's Edward's kid. Got there in the end. Yeah. I thought it was good. Obviously, it was never going to be the peak. It was never going to be super exciting. But I think it was still good. I can't be too upset about it so far. Yeah. What else were you thinking, guys? I'm just trying to remember everything that happened. It's like, shit, I have to do a video now. I thought it was okay, but that EastEnders reminder is a good one. Oh, well, see, Hollyoaks doesn't really tend to make that big of a deal about its anniversaries. Oh yeah, Catherine said, have to say you can tell they're struggling with a budget. Yeah. Yeah, it was a little... The plane stuff's a little bit... You can tell it's on a green screen. And I don't blame them for doing it because, you know, that would be way too, like, risky to do it. But, yeah, you can definitely tell it's... Like, even the gunshot as well. Like, it's just Hollyoaks. Hollyoaks, they clearly don't have the budget for this sort of stuff. Is it definitely it for Tony and Diane? Nah, they'll get back together. You know, they will get... See, at this point, I genuinely don't see Tony with being anywhere else than with Diane. I want to know is where the fuck is Goldie come from? Where the fuck did Goldie come from? Yeah, she was invisible, but she was there in the thing. Season episode only watching this week for the anniversary and later. That's fair enough. It's always fun to be a tourist at anniversary weeks, but the weekly, like... I mean, I would argue at this point, I wouldn't... If I didn't love Hollyoaks so much that I do, I would probably not be watching it yearly. Because, like, 2025 has been rough. Why is Leela with Prince? I mean, Yeah. Especially the step down from going from being with Joel to being with Prince. But then I just think Prince needs to be axed, I'll be honest. Like, I think Prince is horrendous. So, like, he is very pretty. He is very pretty, but he's a shit actor, and he doesn't get any storylines that are worth anything. So, it's campy what we like. We do like campiness in Hollyoaks, so I can't disagree. All right, I think we've kind of. You just want more diverse characters? Yeah, I was trying to figure out what your comment meant where you said that they did a DEI sweep. I assume that meant that they kind of took off a lot of the diverse characters, because obviously back in 2019 they had they had the Maliks, they had at some point they had Ripley in there who was non-binary. You did have a whole lot of more of a diverse cast. I do understand that. Prince irritates you, like, go away. Fair. I wouldn't mind it. To be fair, I think I only dislike Prince the most because he was put with Dilly in the end. And that just killed the character fully, so. Like, when we realized post-Time Jump that Dilly and Prince were going to be together, like, Ripley's a mate of yours. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. That's pretty cool. Say that Ripley was a pretty boring character. So oh yeah, and James returned. That's big. He did carry the episode on his back, I do agree. Can't be asked for Teresa's return. 2018 Hollyoaks episode on E4 now. I mean, I probably won't be watching that. Yeah, but don't tell them that. Yeah, fair. How was Hunter let go, but Prince wasn't? I would argue he was a better one of the two. Yes, 100%. Hunter was way better, but Hunter was undervalued. I think it's... They both... Yeah, Ripley was a glorified extra. That is true. Because you had their relationship with Phoenix, but in the end, it kind of never went anywhere. And it all just kind of spiraled out, and then Phoenix had their own journey. So yeah, Ripley kind of just fell to the wayside, which was sad. But I mean, they did get scenes with Grace Black, and they did get some pretty, like, you could point to their work and you would say, I'm pretty proud of being in Hollyoaks and doing that sort of stuff. And also, Ripley is a fucking fantastic name. But yeah, God, I need to remember everything that happened in the episode. Good lord. See, this is why usually I make Piggy do that part, because I've got a bad memory. Oh no, fucking Stefan Dennis has withdrawn from Strictly. Someone said, imagine this was all Cleo's dream. I mean, how bizarre. And I'd literally be done if they did this. So her dreaming of being with Sienna, kissing Dodgers who she never met. For God's sake, I hope not. Yeah, but I feel like the people who suggest that are kind of hoping. It's like when, you know when there used to be all the, like, or the creepy pastas of like Ash is secretly in a hospital room, and that's why some of the Pokemon have really dumb names like Snake backwards. I feel like that's what people want. I don't think the time jump will all be a figment of Cleo's imagination. I think that, like, I know that Hannah Cheers has set the bar very low, but I don't think that they made enough. It would be so ridiculous to retcon it completely. Ruby felt the producers wanted to score some brownie points for the non-binary community. I like representation, but simply having someone just be there is not good enough. Yeah, that's fair. Like, well, there are limits, right? I think representation is good. Representation is really good. And I think if you can point to something and see that can help people, because I do think that Ripley's presence will have helped people and will have made people more aware of being non-binary and what that means. So I think that is really important to have. I do agree they definitely should have done way more with the character, but also the fact that they were a big character. I say this, this is probably bold of me to assume they were using they them pronouns, right? I'm not like horrendously misgendering anyone, but just let's hope that's true. But yeah, I think if you can point to someone and someone can look at that and go, that was good representation, that made me feel more safe, I think that's perfectly reasonable. So I appreciate them being there, but yeah, they definitely should have done way more with the character to actually have them. The issue is it did feel like they were just there to be non-binary, and that's not what you want representation, because to make it more palatable, you have to make them do other things on top. It's the kind of thing where a lot of people from different backgrounds, a lot of people from more diverse backgrounds, there is a much more of a struggle to become better, and you have to achieve so much more to become valid, and that is probably, and that's why Ripley would have been held at such a higher standard of, yeah, you are representation, but you do need to be a really big character. So the average Joe can actually go, oh, fair enough. This is pretty fine. Mate, honest, I think this is the most airtime Ripley's gotten ever in... I think this is the most talking time they've gotten throughout the entire time they're on the show. All right. Grace, is Grace going to die? If they kill off Grace and her return was absolutely pointless, I think it would be really harsh. I don't think they're going to kill off Grace. I think it would be so rude to kill off Grace after bringing back Claire in. And, fuck, I'm forgetting Grace Black's actress's name. Tamara Wall. Tamara and Gemma Bissix are, like, best mates. And they've been kind of thrilled that they've gotten to work with each other. So I think it would be really cruel if you bring in Rex, who is now Grace's son. You have Claire, who's the sister, who will be popping in and out, but she is there. And Froggy. I don't think they'll kill off Grace. I feel like that would be one step too far. But also, I mean, I said this in the video. I am a little bit apprehensive because there aren't that many characters who are going to, like, when you used to do big stunts back in the day in Hollyoaks, there would be like a ton of bloated cast that you could just dump. You know, there'll be a bunch of characters who are basically glorified extras that you would just dump in a massive stunt, and then suddenly 4 people die, and it's like really depressing. But with the current cast and how kind of light it is on its feet, I am still pretty nervous about this stunt because I don't really know who is really, because it feels like a lot of them are not irreplaceable, but it feels like a lot of them are, they've been picked to be there for a reason. So I'm not sure why they would kind of do this. But it's the hard one with having a smaller cast when you go into these big stunt weeks. You agree, but it could also make Rex's turn a lot darker. I wouldn't be sad if Prince died. I'd be like, oh, okay, then I'd hope for Dodger and Leela. They'd be epic. Yeah, it's not bad, honestly. Oh, yeah, I didn't answer a question as someone said, do I think that Teresa and Dodger are going to be endgame? I don't think so, person. I think they will, but I don't think it'll be invested in because Teresa doesn't really get serious scenes anymore. And it's just kind of how the character is. There are far too many characters being killed off. They either have plans to bring in new ones or it's over soon. Yeah. It's a hard one because they have only shown that they've only brought in one new long-term character this year. They've only shown one new long-term character, and that is Froggy Black. He is the only, like, new character this year who's regular. It feels like a lot of the other Hollyoaks characters have been brought in as short-term in order to be killed off by Jez. But I also don't necessarily believe that with Jez being gone, because he is going to be gone after the anniversary, I don't think so many characters are going to be leaving, and I think we're going to kind of get back to grips. Obviously, this anniversary, like, notwithstanding, there will be some deaths, probably at least 1 or 2, but I don't necessarily think that... I don't think that there's going to be a need for so many more exits. I wonder if the thing about bringing people back... It's a hard one. Because I want them to bring back older characters. I want there to bring back Cindy. I want them to bring back... Like, I want to bring back Ethan and Dilly, let's be real. But, like, a lot of characters I would like to see back. I'm just uncertain how Hollyoaks would currently do them. Because I've said a lot of kind of mean things about Hollyoaks, about how they don't really have much of a direction, and they keep doing the same stuff, and they keep ruining relationships with short plots. And I am worried that if they do bring these characters back, that that's just what they're going to become. And I don't want them to be discarded, because I don't want them to ruin the history. So, I feel like the characters have direction. I feel like once Jez is gone, I feel like the show will become a bit more succinct. Because I feel like Dodger's become a bit of an idiot because of Jez. And I think that has made Dodger way less likable. Because he's preferring the dad he doesn't like that he didn't know was the dad. Now he's having to accommodate Jez being this criminal mastermind. And I think that has been ruining the character. But with Jez gone, I think that the show will become a bit more palatable with a bit more direction. What do we think James could be hiding? Oh, I don't know. I think... Because it's something that Steve would hate. But I feel like if it is anything to do with Romeo, I don't think that Steve would be too upset with, like, James helping Romeo or James covering for Romeo. So in that sense, it feels like it could be something entirely unlikely. But I mean, there had to be a proper reason why he had faked his own death. There has to be a big proper reason, and I'm not sure what that is. You reckon Rex knows James survived and covered for him, he's kept quiet and has been helping him? I mean, they did kind of toy with the fact that Rex was possibly covering up James. What if James was working for Dave or Blue? What if he was involved in a sex trafficking ring? I don't think you do that with James though. I think that would be cruel. Yeah, we never saw Blue's. Well, we did see him dying. See, this may be one of my hot takes, but I would actually bring Blue back. I would genuinely bring back Blue. Because Dave was a horrendous character. And I thought he was pretty useless for about 3 of the 4 years he was there. But the last 3 months of his life were absolute fucking chaos. And they were fantastic. They were great. I loved Dave as Blue. It's why I was so confused when, after the time jump, they made fucking Robbie Roscoe, they made him take over being the gangster. When Dave was right there. But obviously, I don't want Dave as Dave Williams. I want Dave as Blue. I want him to be Blue. Because Warren's not staying back for good, let's be honest. Warren's kind of dipping in and out as he's raising his family. And I'd be down. I would be down. Although that's probably one of my most toxic hot takes. Orange Free, the actor, I really like Davis Blue. The actor is decent. He was our actor. I like Blue. Obviously, I also enjoyed... also enjoyed. What am I trying to say? I also enjoy. I don't know. I got lost. All right, I'm just kind of farting around, looking at stuff. People thinking that Perry's gonna die at. See, yeah, I think that's it. I think Perry might actually get killed off. I wouldn't be surprised. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Perry got killed off, because they are trying to make Tom and Perry a big deal. And when you typically kill off characters when you typically plan for long-term characters to leave, you circle them back to what brought them to prominence. And that was kind of the big formative, like, teenage pregnancy with Tom. And I also think that Perry wasn't really supposed to be here after the anniversary. And I think that she was kind of slotted in where Emma Rigby, I feel like she was in the position that Hannah Ashworth was supposed to be in. And I think that they had to change it real quick in order to keep Perry relevant. I wouldn't be surprised if Perry dies. And if Tom and Perry are getting engaged, why would Tom leave after the anniversary? Could be wrong. There's apparently going to be a big issue-led storyline in 2026 from the Laters. Any thoughts on what it could be? I mean, they'd probably have to do something. They have to show something. I'm not entirely certain. I don't know. Big issue-led storyline. Well, because there was it was Stephen Patterson in the Metro, right? Who did a big piece talking about Hollyoaks' history and how it's kind of redefined itself, all in all. Wonder if they're setting up Dodger and Teresa up to be the next big thing. I don't think they'll be that big of a deal, unfortunately. All right, so here's the article that it was said. I haven't actually set it up, so just bear with me. Oh, those are all of my lovely tabs. Let's just hide all of the secret stuff. Oh, that's Solitaire. 1 second. Okay, all right, we're here. Okay, so in this article, it says... this was by Stephen Patterson of the Metro. Fantastic writer, by the way. Does really good work in the space, so full credit. Hollyoaks later made a comeback with a 1-hour special after hours edition of the soap, carrying on from the trigger point set off in the Brookside crossover. With returns from Warren Fox and Teresa McQueen, and characters like Frankie Osborne, facing crossroads after a turbulent year, danger rises at a big party with the lives of several residents set to change forever. It will be the starting point of a huge and topical storyline that will dominate Hollyoaks moving into 2025. I mean, it's a very hard one to depict. Could be John Paul leaving, perhaps. I don't think John Paul will get an important exit, unfortunately. I think one of the teenagers will die, perhaps due to drugs or something, and that will kind of sit with them. Maybe, I don't know. I got nothing. Usually, I'm quite good at hammering into details, but they didn't give anything. If John Paul dies, the Gen Xers are rioting. They won't kill off John Paul. They can't. They can't kill off John Paul. John Paul is one of the most criminally underused Hollyoaks characters, and is continuously forgotten and undervalued. And obviously all of the fucking Craig and John Paul stans would be crying their eyes out. Unless Tony dies and it's Charlie and it's based on Darren, or Jack dies. I don't know. Actually, I don't know what topical storyline it would be. That's my problem. Like, what? Because it says it's topical. Topical suggests it's currently a problem. You know, are we doing the Manosphere stuff again? I don't really think they'd do that. Could be someone caught in the crosshairs between Steve and Lucas's domestic violence. Maybe Lucas lashes out at Charlie, and then they all have to live with the guilt and cover it up or something. Don't know, because they've done the Far Out stuff quite well. Yeah, they have. They have featured it very strongly. Men's mental health. Yeah, could be a way to kind of put Darren back at the front and center. They've done that, yeah, but they can do it again in a different way. I mean, they also did one with Charlie Dean's mental health. Maybe based around Steen, maybe due to James's return. Might be interesting. Because he is saying that he's been doing something that Steve would never forgive. And why would he have to fake his own death unless he was involved in some really messed up shit? And now he's back gambling again. Oh, I just realized I haven't changed the logo. I haven't changed the Oh yeah, one question. I know this is self-indulgent. What do you guys think about the new logo? Hollyoaks, they love the teens caught up in a murder plot or something, which they already did. Yeah, they did already do that, didn't they? Oh, you're on. I like it. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's brand new. We got it commissioned a couple days ago. Piggy's been plugging away with an artist trying to get a better logo than the previous one. I think it turned out. I didn't like it initially, but I think it's warmed on me. I do like it now. But yeah, we were. Well, it's because our original logo was just shit. It was something I shitly made and just went, that'll do. That'll do. But now it feels more customized. It actually is a proper piece of art now. Yeah, it works for the channel. Me too. So that's cool. All right, I think now the chat's kind of ticking away. I think it's. Then again, they could do an acid attack plot. True. I think I'm now going to try do a kind of recap of everything that happened in the first episode. So if I go into more like presentory mode, I'm now going to start filming this video, which will probably be released tomorrow. Obviously, you guys in the chat won't need to watch it again because you guys were here. And if I miss anything, obviously point it out. All right. And the Hollyoaks 30th anniversary kicks off with a bang, as this is the first episode of 4 episodes set to do this week. And of course, this is currently being live streamed on our YouTube channel, as myself and our lovely Watching Walford faithful have been live reacting to the episodes over on YouTube. So if you want to get involved and you want to have someone to watch the episodes with, we're doing it all over the channel. So yeah. So this was the first episode of the anniversary, and these typically are reserved for build-up, essentially. It's the main issue with the episodes of anniversaries is you don't want to set it up too early so people get bored. And what we had set up last week was particularly interesting in James Nightingale's return. But also you didn't want to have like Jez and Claire getting into a plane, or you don't really want to set up like Tony's marriage falling up in pieces last week, because then it's kind of, you want it to all happen now. You want to set up the events of the episode. I said it in the stream and I'll say it again. It's the kind of EastEnders effect where in an EastEnders anniversary, obviously the Monday's episode is always typically a pretty slow one, but it's all about kind of stoking the fires and building up to the big moments that are going to come later in the week. But what happened this week? I'm going to kind of briefly run down stuff that happened during these episodes, and I think that's going to be a fairly fun way to do it. So, this episode featured the start of Tony's marriage failing. They all set up for the wedding. We get the new Hutchinsons, as pretty much all of them have been recast and new actors and actresses. All of them have been recast, essentially, which, if you've never seen a recast before, where they take who are initially a fairly younger character and they give them a slightly older kind of role, that then means they're probably going to get some more serious storylines. So, obviously, I think Ava Lilly is the actress who played Ro before. They are obviously going to get some bigger storylines down the line. And it was pretty important that at some point within Ro's journey as a character, you had to recast Ro as a trans actor, because you're doing it an injustice if you don't have a trans actor playing the role of a trans character. That would be pretty tone deaf, especially at this point in time. And you have Dee Dee and Ant, who are both been aged up, and we've hinted at stuff as well. We don't see much about Ant, but we do see stuff about Dee Dee. I say Dee Dee? Yeah, it is Dee Dee, right? Yeah, but we see that she has an exo kiss from someone. Who's she talking to? Could it be Diane Fletcher's? I'm mixing up all the names. Alex Fletcher. Could it be Diane's kid from Brookside? I don't know. There's a lot going on here, but a lot of what is said. These actors are they've been aged up for a reason, and there probably will be some darker material. But I think I read that from Duncan Lindsay, who I think they work in the Metro, but I could be wrong. Don't attack me if I get that wrong. But obviously they do a bunch of spoilers and they see episodes in advance, etc., etc. But yeah, so the Hutchinsons all gather round and Tony's finally here to celebrate the big day. They get excited. It's all lovely. And then they're all ready to get set for the wedding, but people are particularly upset. People are particularly annoyed at Tony. So Mercedes, Myra, and I'm going to assume Goldie showed up. They all show up and they kind of say, look, Tony, you're having a boy, but we're taking that we're taking that alimony, you know what I mean? Like, we are taking everything we're owed for this baby. You said you'd be there for him, so you need to step up. Marie is lingering around, desperately willing to unleash the secret that is she is pregnant. We don't fully know if she is pregnant. It could all be an illusion, and she probably might even try to steal Sienna and Cleo's baby. And we also have Darren, who is still pretty hurt from the revelation, and he also drunkenly called Warren to set out a hit on Tony Hutchinson that will likely take place shortly after the wedding. So a lot to go into there, but I think that's kind of enough on that little side of it. The fact that both baby secrets are exposed. Diane now learns about Mercedes' baby. She learns about Marie's baby, and learns about the fact that Tony is the father of Morgan Osborne. And obviously this leaves Tony, like, as one of our lovely commenters said, like Ian Beale, where he's basically like, look, I may not be the best man, and I may not be the greatest man, but I do love you, and I'll do anything. Nobody will love you like me. I'll do anything, just don't leave me. And this leads to Diane relapsing in the love boat. Darren punches Tony, and this big reveal. And also Sienna slips away to try and kind of, because she hears that Tori has been abducted, so she slips away. And with Jez on the loose, that now means it's something of a pretty scary time for Sienna. Will she be found in it? You also have Claire trying to abduct baby Tori and take her away. Claire has been trying to get Rex on side in order to do her bidding. And in a culmination where Claire is with this plane, she pulls out a gun, aims it at Grace, and then Grace, Froggy, Rex, and Claire all battle with the gun, which leads to it going off, both shooting Grace in the process and the fuel tank of the plane, or at least something that means the fuel is now leaking out of the plane. So, Claire is not fleeing with Tori, and Rex is finally opening himself up to actually try and be there for Grace. Now, that pains the question. Do we think Grace Black is going to die? See, I was very worried until I believe it was Nush in our chat who said, Grace has been shot so many times, it probably didn't even go in. Essentially saying, Grace has survived a whole ton of bullets. I think she will probably be fine. And I think Grace Black will be fine. They've really rebuilt the Black family, and they've really made sure to try and add more strings to the bow, because the biggest issue with Grace a couple of years ago was the fact that it was Grace, herself, Cindy, and Zara Morgan. But now you have Claire, Rex, and Froggy, which does actually make a fairly functional unit of a family. And I think that's kind of what Tamara Wall deserves. She deserves to be fully... She deserves to be fully... like kind of sandwiched and fully enveloped within Hollyoaks, and I think it would be a massive deal breaker if you did kill Grace Black off. So Claire gets in the plane. She gets in the plane. She goes ahead and gets in the plane, and she thinks a man called Howard is flying the plane. And what we learned is that Howard was the driver that was at the Air Force. This was a member of the public. This was someone who was in the Are You the Biggest Hollyoaks super fan? They won the contest, and therefore they are set to fly the plane, but then they just get punched by Jez and killed. And one of the weakest deaths known to man. I always kind of joked about the fact of imagining having to actually act in Hollyoaks, and all you did was just do a little bit of stunt work and probably got to meet all the actors. That was probably very nice. So rest in peace, Howard. So Jez hijacks the plane, and we know that the fuel tank's been shot, so it's leaking out everywhere. So therefore, their destination's pretty awry. In the plane, Claire is like awestruck to realize that Jez is flying it. Claire tries to attack Jez. It opens the window. Jez basically dumps all the money out across wherever they're flying across, and the plane is going down. The plane is going down. And we also kind of have to wonder where the plane is going to go. And we do think that the perhaps different place is, if we had to guess, it's probably crashing into the Love Boat. And Diane is currently relapsing and drinking in the Love Boat. Is she at risk? I definitely think she is at risk. Did I miss anything? I think we've got just about everything. And of course, the final piece. James Nightingale is in fact not dead. And and he is clearly alive. He shows up at Perry's, and Perry's like, I saw you, I need answers. And James essentially says, Steve would not love me if he knows what I did. So that pains the question, what did James Nightingale do? And obviously we'll find out more over the later. But there's still a lot of really big questions about what James would do that would make Stee not love him. Because Stee was convinced that James was still alive. And maybe that was actually true after all. I honestly don't know. But all in all, I think James was the strongest piece of acting in the episode. The actor, Gregory Finnegan, honestly, it felt like he just kind of went, if you got rid of me once, I'm not allowing that to happen again. So he was acting his socks off. He was tremendous in the episode. But yeah, I think that's it, though. The episode kind of closes with the plane about to crash, and I assume it's going to crash in Chester, and I assume that the village is going to be at risk. So this kind of pains the question. I think the final piece of the puzzle to end this video, though, I think it's time to kind of discuss who is possibly at risk of dying. And right now, I think there are two main options as to who probably will die. And I'll go through it one by one. I think Perry has a great potential to die. She has been made significantly more prominent in the build-up to the anniversary, whilst we know that Tom isn't staying after the anniversary. It was always viewed as like a temporary return. Why would Tom leave if he is now engaged to Perry as of the anniversary? So why would he leave if Perry isn't going to be around? Or why would he leave if Perry is going to be around? That would be weird. Then she's also kind of circled back to one of her more prominent storyline, which is kind of a writing trope where if you have your character reach a natural end of where you want it to end, you kind of cycle back to what they were at their peak as such. And not to say the peak was the teenage pregnancy storyline with Perry, but definitely as the years have gone by, less storylines have been given to her. So it may be a chance of them kind of circling back round to try and make people care as much as they humanly can. So that's why Perry, I think, is on the chopping block, potentially. Someone says they did it with Martin, Fowler, and Stacey. You're absolutely right, Chisnush. Catherine says, seems like they're settling all the characters down. Sienna's become boring with Cleo now. I want Psycho Sienna. I wonder if she'll find out about Dodger and Cleo, unless that was just a random plot, but doesn't seem to be going anywhere for that because Teresa is back on Wednesday. I mean, the secret will come out. The secret will come out in the end. And the other person who I think is possibly going to die probably is Diane Hutchinson. She's just a character who hasn't really felt safe since the time jump was announced. It always felt, and there were always rumors that she was going to leave. And at each point in time, we kind of keep getting proven wrong. But, you know, she seems like she's the most at risk. And they've kind of recast the kid actors now to be much older, so maybe they would be dealing with the grief. Diane's relapsed. Is there a chance she goes down in the plane crash? Time will tell. And I think character number 3, is possibly Charlie Dean. I don't think that Charlie is a character they want to invest in. And I think for an anniversary, he is probably quite easy collateral to take. And he's been brought back apropos of nothing, really. And he's now suddenly here for the anniversary. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the character who does get killed off. Because this is also set to be in the later. I think this will be the later storyline, the Hollyoaks later storyline, where, you know, the teens go clubbing, they go on a night out, Frankie meets someone, but I do think there'll be a pretty, maybe Lucas attacks Charlie, and that's how Charlie dies, and then the teens have to kind of deal with the fact that Lucas has now gone way too far. Like, I don't know, but those are my biggest options, and those are who I think are the most likely to die. And I think I've just about covered everything, but as to kind of reward everybody who's been in the chat all day and been keeping me company for just shy of an hour 20 now, they have been saying, they did it with Martin and Fowler and Stacey from Lush. Catherine said, yeah, I said that. Catherine says, I think Tony will have a choice and he'll have to choose who to save And maybe that leads to the new Hutchinson's Dark storyline. Yeah, I could see that happening. I could actually see that happening. Could be about Cleo, though. I think she's in the laters. Maybe she gives birth. Perhaps, because I also think that Marie will leave trying to kidnap Cleo and Sienna's baby. But with all that said, I think all in all, that was just about everything that took place in the first episode of the Hollyoaks 30th anniversary. Tell me what you thought about it in the comment section down below. I've been Ash from Watching Walford. All of this and the rest of the anniversary is being streamed live on YouTube. If you want anybody to watch it with, obviously join us over there. We've had a great time today. So, excuse me. I hope everybody joins us tomorrow and the next day and for the Hollyoaks later, all of which are going to be covered. And I hope you enjoyed this little debrief afterwards just to explain all of the necessary things that happened. So yeah, with that said though, thank you for watching. Join us for tomorrow's episode or today's episode when this comes out. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Ooh, there we are. Blimey. Thanks, Ash. Catch you in a bit. Yeah, and I think with all that said, though, I've wittered on for way too long. I think this is the time we turn off the stream for now. I think we say goodbye and we catch you all tomorrow for episode 2 of the time jump of the anniversary. I really enjoyed it, though. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Nush. Thank you, everybody who's contributed today. It's been really fun. And yeah, I hope to see you tomorrow for more Hollyoaks. All right. See you, everyone. Well, just one comment. I think Marie does take Cleo's baby and moves up to Scotland being a Joel. Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, once again, thank you, everyone. I do appreciate you all. And yeah, catch you tomorrow for the episode again. Bye-bye.